just made a temporary door for the temporary paddock. It is Sunday and this is my makeshift way of letting them in. The guys are making a plan how to build the rest of these paddocks here, and this is just a way to provide these bovines with some fresh food instead of pellets and straw. Next week will be a lot of rain, so better we graze this off now that there is some forage here, and then during the rain it can all soak in, and when the sun comes out again this can then go up. And as you can see, they are spread out instead of being bunched up, because the paddock is very huge and I don't have the time today alone to do some mob grazing here. And that is the point why I want to have those small paddocks, because eventually we can focus on other things. Instead of managing the grazing, we just open and close gates. And given we have enough animals, it will always be a mob that comes into a smallish paddock.
Welcome back to Granja Caimito in the Pedroches Valley of Andalusia, Spain. We are going on a walk and find a huge surprise in the former pig area that seemed to have become a desert. Then we look at the progress in a few paddocks and also what has happened to the pig enclosure in our Zone A. There is also a look across the fence from the driveway to the east. Up at the Altiplano, another cow is trying to give birth to a male calf, and it turns out to be a real challenge.
Except for pigs and cows and a lot of straw that we used here, we have not done anything. So everything that you are going to see, and with the exception of the broad beans on the berm, it's all natural. So it just came up on its own based on seed that was either in the straw or the cows brought in from somewhere. So this is quite interesting what is happening here. I believe the taller plant is all cereals, but it looks interesting. So it's just for curiosity. It's not really an achievement, but every root counts. And here in the area that is not covered with straw, this wants to turn into a paddock. And as you can see, there's clover also. I would think that is white clover. But on the other hand, I do know that we have subterranean clover a lot here. So it might also be that. And we had no opportunity to pick up all these stones because the guy with the tractor never showed up. But from tomorrow on we will have a person with 2 mules here, and we will see how we are going to play this. Of course, now it's almost a shame to start tilling in here, because I would think if we were to not do anything, this might become a very good place. So this is quite interesting. Of course, it's not that many plants, but look at them. This is not bad at all. All on its own, this could be a very good place. But then the good thing with mules is we have a lot more room to maneuver and can walk around things, and we might exclude some of the areas from the tilling and then have a comparison also. This is actually very nice. See, around here there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I remember one thing. Here in this particular area, I threw out a bucket of leftover grass seed, and I thought it was a total loss, but apparently it's not. So that might be the reason why these grasses are here. And the pigs somehow helped to work the seed into, yeah, let's call it dirt, because it wasn't really soil. So it might well be that this is from this seemingly failed experiment. And this here definitely is forage. I don't know how it's called, but it is forage. So I think we will not till this particular piece here. Here in the shade of this tree, it looks even better. Just came up on its own. This is the area where the swale started, the place where I got stuck with the backhoe in quicksand. And this is now one of the two integrated pond areas. The pigs did enjoy this. And as you can see, it is well filled, and there's a little bit in the actual swale. Of course, we need more rain to fill this more up, but it's not so bad. And I will now try to show you a little bit of the beans growing on the berm. So this is how they look like up close. So far you guys have seen them only from a distance. In Spanish they are called habas. And this is all for biomass, to make soil up here on this berm. So there's no intention to do any harvest. Also, that is why people use them. But in our case, this is just so that something grows here. It goes to seed and then will grow again. The cool thing about the mules is you can plow in between those trees. You can basically go along this and make a few passes, and then you can do a few loops, and you can easily avoid something like that because there it's not needed, there's something growing. So we can be very creative and seed the new things that we want to have just in certain areas. I just touched the material below the beans, and it's pretty dry because it sits in the sun. So even with the rain, it dries out quickly on the surface, but underneath it's definitely moist. So this technique is definitely working out for us. So now the interesting question is, this area that was barren and full of stones and nothing was growing, as you can remember in previous videos I showed this frequently, looks nice, very nice, like a very good paddock, or a good paddock in the making, but definitely it looks much better than, let me turn the camera around. So in this area there, CT2, we only had the cows in there. No pigs have been uprooting. We played the game with the straw, but it looks pretty poor in comparison. So this here is even more interesting. I definitely did not throw out seed here. And this is also not the cereal, which sits right in front of the berm. So that definitely is grass. This is not a cereal. And it sits right there where the cows were assigned to compost making duty. It sits at the edge where we did not remove the material to cover the broad beans on the berm. And I have no idea where this grass came from. There is some cereal, like this one. So this, to me, definitely is a cereal. So this wants to go up and be tall. one a little bit smaller. But this is not the regular grass. So more of that here. So this is definitely not an area where we should till and destroy what has come up on its own. We can overseed it. Of course there are all these stones. Now I'm wondering what we're going to do with that. There are some areas where there are more stones than anything else, so there we might use this rake that hopefully this week can be built with all the rain that we are expecting. Angel can stay in the shed and work on that, because obviously I don't want to drive the backhoe over this. Look at this. This looks like it was seeded, and we did not. This is very astonishing. I definitely did not expect what I'm seeing. It's a very pleasant surprise. This is what I call our best paddock. This is A15, and the areas here in the front always had the best grass. This has 25 days of rest. Last year we did not have this amount of mustard there. Actually our land is now suddenly full of mustard. The little stretch up here to the entrance, one of the two, has also vastly improved. What used to be a road now has green things growing on it. Of course, one should not forget that we are in very early spring now, and there is enough moisture now coming from the sky. So given our Mediterranean climate and this very long drought during summer, this doesn't really mean a lot. So the moment of truth comes when the heat sets in, and then we will see how much we actually have improved. So this is just nice, and of course I'm happy, but I'm not jumping up and down of joy, because I know what lies ahead. The spring feeling and rampant growth has also arrived here. Some of you might remember this is the area where we used to receive pigs and also train them on the electric fence. And then we had some difficulties seeding the giant cabbage. We kept it alive over summer with that sprinkler there in the center. Quite a bit that sat in the shade here to the left is still alive. And once we finally will receive those 5 male pigs for the other experiment, and I hope that will be very soon, they will certainly be quite happy in here. This wasn't here before. I am not sure what it is. It does look a little bit like yerba buena, and maybe it wants to bloom. That is why the upper part like that looks like this, because down there, well, I'm really not sure. It might be something entirely different.
This cow has difficulty giving birth and we need to help her. It is important to go slow and not add additional stress to an already stressful situation for the animal.
No me tires otra vez, ¿eh? Sale.
The bulls are alerting each other because a member of the herd has fallen down. And that means there are predators around and potentially they need to defend the herd.
Para empezar.
This is potentially dangerous. But then alerting is not the same as attacking, and after all, they know us. So it's a thing that's probably not
Joder, como todo.
over the edge.
Échale un.
O si no.
You are about to see reality. Ranching isn't always fun, and nature does not know anything about compassion. We humans do, and that is why we help animals in distress. This is a pretty large and heavy animal. Some of the actions you are about to see may seem drastic and brutal, but so is being kicked by accident by such a strong animal.
No está de dilatar.
Está la libertad, pero si es que todas las vacas están así, todas no ya está.
Eso hace el burro aquí.
Tírale para abajo y tírale y ya está. Ya salí,
Y
ya
tírale,
salió,
Juan, como voy a liar aquí a hacer el burro.
ya salió un pedazo. Ángel, hay que tirarle.
Y a ver, tírale, claro. Eso por tirar. Tiro.
Tira, venga, tira.
Juan, como voy a tirar.
Tira, Ángel. Si ya el daño está hecho, si pase lo que pase.
Mira, esto es los hocico. Todo eso tiene que abrir.
Tírale.
Juan, que no voy a tirar más, no ves cómo está eso.
Juan, coño,
¿Quieres tiras tú?
Hasta ahí, Juan. Hasta ahí. Echar un nudo.
Don't be mistaken. This cow had been trying to give birth for a while, and that is why the guys sprang into action. And you can see why she was unsuccessful.
Ay, para rajarla entera, vamos. Está para rajarla entera. Pero bueno, está saliendo. Está teniendo los higos para si fuera.
Cuando salga la cabeza sale el becerro.
Vamos. Venga, chica. Venga, chica. Venga, chica. Uf.
Respira el becerro. Hostia, pero si es que no tiene sitio, macho. Uf, se va a rajar enterita, macho. No tiene sitio.
The tongue and part of the mouth is out, and the calf is bleeding, at least.
Pero sí.
Vamos, chica.
¿Me cojo yo aquí?
This is not supposed to be like that.
¿Cojo yo aquí?
Ahora. Corre, tírale.
Este becerro fuera.
Abajo, ¿no?
Allá, ahí.
Dale, un poco más.
Para abajo, Ángel. Tírale para el correo.
Ya.
Joder, becerro bien, la vaca.
Venga, dale un poco, espérate.
Halfway out, but there's another challenge.
Ponlo en su sitio. Ponlo en su sitio. Ahí. Ponlo más arriba, amor. Ahí.
Gírate, Ángel, gírate. No tiras derecho, gírate.
¡Calla!
They are all good friends,
Ahí.
but in situations like that, tensions are high.
Vamos a ampliar un poco. A ver. Tira más. Nos cargamos el becerro,
That sound came from the calf, and the situation isn't good.
Pobre está, vamos. Nos lo cargamos, ¿no? Cuidado, cuidado que lo deshace. Tira fuerte. Voy a dejarlo descansar un poco. Tira fuerte.
Si tiene ya dos cuerpos acá, parece que tuviera las patas.
¿Con cuál fue que pasó que estaba igual?
Pues tiene
El que estaba ya muerto.
Tiene mucha colada con el muerto. Con el que
Entonces se quedó así, ¿te acuerdas? Y era tirarle, la mala leche.
Tirarle y ya está. La vaca ya no hace fuerza.
Ya sí debemos de tirarle.
Antes que se espabile y se levante.
Esta vaca ahora sale y pega la estampilla.
Muy chica para tener un becerro. Joder, macho, yo pensaba que salía ya.
Ay, se va un para abajo, se va un para abajo. Allí, porfa. Pues se lo comemos. Quítale fuerza a eso.
Ahora me vamos para arriba, ¿no?
Es que no te dan el pelo. Sí. Este se va a quedar con las manos como el otro. Acuérdate. Juan, mira, está apretando. Juan, aquí. Ahí tira el troco por ahí. Y luego para abajo. Si no te quedas sin fuerza. Dale todo lo que puedas. Dale por abajo.
Ayúdale todas a girar así.
Así es que no estoy haciendo nada.
Ayúdale tú a girar la ayuda parto para abajo.
Yo no lo hago nada. Porque tiene las patas.
Algo a salir, algo a salir.
Déjame. Ahí viene. Toma. Dale tú eso que le estaba haciendo a Juan. Esto que le estaba haciendo yo. Vamos a ver.
Sí, eso no lo hagas abrir nada y eso si está de salir con la humedad que tiene sale como una camina.
Dale.
¿Qué caderas tiene, sabes? Que no se levante, Juan.
Ahora ya no puede tenderse la vaca.
Así haciéndolo un poco más alto. Se levante, Juan. Hostia, qué cadera tiene.
Tiene unas caderas.
Ay.
Está fatal la vaca puesta, ¿eh?
La vaca está así bien puesta.
Esa vaca no tiene sitio.
Dale, Juan, con los guantes. Por todos lados, así, metí la mano, así. Por todos lados. Es que está cerrada, ¿eh?
Que no estará arriba acá.
Que está cerrada, ¿eh? Abajo no va a salir.
El único sitio donde tiene que
Dame
salir.
fuerza, no puedo hasta ahí.
Abajo no sale. Es que no tiene sitio ninguno, ¿eh? Es que no tiene sitio, ¿eh? Hombre. A ver si le diera por empujar un poco.
Ahora que ya no puedo. Ya al no tener cuerda no estira la cabeza, Juan. Pero eso no le impide a la
Suéltale ahí un poco.
vaca. ¿Eh?
Suéltale un poco. Que descanse ahí un poco el animal. Ahí, se relaja un poco.
Hay que tirar, ¿eh? No, pero que te quiero decir que hay que jugárselas todas, ya está. Y tirar, y punto.
Sí, Juan, sí, eso ya no me he dado cuenta.
Ahí llegamos, ¿no?
La teoría, eso ya no me he dado cuenta.
Es que parece que está soldado, oye.
¿Se ve la fuerza que hace? ¿Se ve la fuerza que hace eso?
Si es que no tiene sitio. Si le metió la mano y le toca hueso. Está nada más que como si tuviera hueco por arriba. Pero lo que es lo de abajo, por ahí no sale. Tiene que salir de arriba. Ahí mira. Es que la estamos haciendo polvo, ¿sabes? Por eso se... Cógeme ahí, Ángel, porfa. Me subí. Me subí. El becerro va a flipar. No, no está todo el becerro que la vaca.
Ahí para el los dos. Ahí tira para el los dos. Ahora está subiendo. Ayúdate ahora ya a girar, Juan. Ahí.
Partí el becerro por la mitad.
Ahora ahí.
¿Qué cadera tiene, sabes?
Colgarlo.
¿Eh?
Colgarlo.
¿Cómo hacía para colgarlo? Así, no sé cómo hace.
Pero tiene que ser a las patas.
Dame esa cuerda. Un macho. ¿Sí que no llega?
Vale. Debe ser lo largo que hay. Vale. Si tiene algo lo echa así también.
Déjala, si está bien.
Te sale.
Ten cuidado que pega patada esta.
Lo vas a decir a mí.
Lo recuerdo.
que te toca.
Pues era eso.
Sale ahí, Juan.
Está tensado.
Que la vaga con que esté tensada ya no se mueve.
El becerro tiene una paliza también. Ha cagado y todo. ¿Qué? Las piernas de atrás todavía no las he visto menearse.
Tiene las bastante vitales buenas. Vámonos, y porque estamos aquí no hacemos nada.
La vaca se cree que está todavía atrás, ¿sabes?
La suerte está atrás.
Por lo menos retirarnos un poco. Dejarla.
Ahora que se mueva lo que ya son. Vea.
Retirarnos un poco, que ya... Que huela al becerro y que lo lama un poco. Pues más estemos ahí. Con la picada, la sacas para afuera y se van todas.
The whole herd went to the water, and on the way down, Juan saw the two bulls fighting, and they destroyed the fence.
Well, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Madre mía, lo que han hecho, ¿no? Lo que han hecho, ¿sabes porrazos que se han pegado? Se han peleado, ¿no? Pero ha venido corriendo desde aquí, esto le ha pegado un golpetazo y la ha metido dentro de la otra cerca, ¿eh? Sí, ¿cuál a cuál? El blanco. Y ya se han metido los tres, se han liado a palo unos con otros. ¿Sí? No, que se han pegado una buena. Los tres machos. ¿No lo ha grabado? No me ha dado tiempo.
Juan did try to capture some of it, but
Hemos perdido
he
todo el
did not
espectáculo.
manage.
Pues sí. Si yo lo que he hecho ha sido salir a correr. Míralo, ahí ya estaban dentro. Lo que he hecho ha sido salir a correr porque se iban para allá. ¿Y qué hacemos ahora con esto? Es que la han roto de cuá.
Tomorrow we will check on the calf and his mother. Probably we have to start some treatment for the mother if she doesn't manage to get up on her 4 feet. That was it for today's video. Please come back in a few days, and thank you for watching.